You have 200 square feet. You have a laptop, a ring light, maybe a monitor, a printer you never use, and a stack of paperwork that seems to multiply overnight. And someone just told you that working from home in a tiny house is completely doable. They were right. But nobody told you how. What if I told you there are 6 specific strategies that tiny house dwellers are using right now to build fully functional home offices, complete with real storage, real ergonomics, and real separation between work and life, all inside under 400 square feet? Stick with me until the end of this video because strategy number 6 is the one most tiny house people completely overlook, and it is probably the highest impact change you can make without spending a single dollar. Before we get into it, if you are new here, welcome to Affordable Tiny Homes. We keep things honest, data-backed, and sponsor-free. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Now, let's get to work. Here is the reality we are dealing with in 2026. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, approximately 34.6 million Americans were teleworking as of mid-2025. Research from Stanford economist Nick Bloom estimates that about 27 to 28% of all paid full-time workdays in the United States are now worked from home. Remote work did not disappear after the return-to-office push. The data shows it has officially stabilized. It is a permanent structural reality in the workforce, and a growing number of those remote workers are doing it from tiny homes, van conversions, cabins, and alternative dwellings. Which means the question of how to set up a proper workspace in a small footprint is more relevant than it has ever been. The good news? This is completely solvable. Not with expensive renovations or magic furniture. With smart, deliberate design choices. Let's walk through them one by one. The biggest mistake tiny home dwellers make when setting up a home office is jumping straight to buying furniture. They see a cute fold-down desk on social media, and they order it before they have even identified where it's going to go. Step 1 is a zone audit. Walk your entire home and look for underutilized pockets of space. Not rooms. Pockets. We're talking about the space under your stairs. If you have a loft-style tiny home, the area beneath the staircase is often dead square footage. A slim desk, a couple of custom shelves, and some LED puck lighting can transform that awkward triangle into a fully functional mini office. Designers call this a closet-style setup, an entry alcove or wide hallway. If your tiny home has a foyer or even just a widened hallway section, that is a natural candidate for a floating desk. Add a recessed task light above and a couple of wall-mounted shelves, and you have a dedicated workspace that does not eat into your main living area at all. A corner nook near a window. Natural light is your best friend for productivity and for video calls. A corner desk setup that captures window light cuts down on artificial lighting needs and gives you a visually appealing background. The back of sofa zone. This one surprises people. If your sofa has a few feet of space between it and the wall behind it, a slim console-style desk can live there. It is in the room, but not in the way. The key rule here is this. Your workspace does not need to be a full room. It needs to be a consistent designated spot. The psychological separation between work and personal life in a tiny home comes from spatial habit, not from walls. In a tiny house, the floor is the most expensive real estate you have. Your walls are free. When you shift your storage thinking from horizontal to vertical, everything changes. Here is what that looks like in practice. Floating shelves above the desk. Install a set of wall-mounted shelves starting right at desk height and going up as high as you can comfortably reach. Use the lowest shelf for items you grab daily, the middle shelf for reference materials, and the top shelf for storage bins of less-used supplies. This alone can clear everything off your desk surface. Pegboards. A pegboard is one of the most underrated home office tools in a small space. You can hang supply organizers, headphone holders, cable management hooks, even small shelves and planners. It is endlessly reconfigurable, and it keeps everything visible and accessible without taking up drawer or counter space. Undershelf storage. The underside of a shelf is usable space. Fasten jar lids underneath, and use the jars for pens and supplies. Install undershelf baskets for papers, notebooks, and peripherals. You are essentially doubling the capacity of every shelf you install. Wall-mounted cable management. A vertical power strip with a wall mount keeps all your charging cables and device cords off the desk surface and off the floor. Pair it with Velcro cable ties, and you eliminate one of the biggest sources of visual clutter in small home offices. Staggered shelving. When you install shelves, avoid putting them all at the same depth and same spacing. Stagger them in tiered layers. It gives structure to your wall, avoids the visual crowding that comes from uniform shelving, and actually makes the space feel larger. In a conventional home, you can afford single-purpose furniture. In a tiny home, every piece needs to earn its square footage by doing more than one thing. Let's talk about the big players. The fold-down wall desk. This is probably the most popular tiny home office solution, and for good reason. A fold-down desk mounts directly to the wall with hinges and folds flat when not in use. When it is down, you have a work surface. When it is up, that wall space is completely open. Many models include hidden shelves and compartment for supplies. The limitation is surface area. These work best for laptop setups or minimal desk work. If you need dual monitors or spread out materials, they can feel cramped. The Murphy bed with an integrated desk. This is the gold standard for tiny homes where the office also doubles as a guest room. These systems fold the bed up into the wall cabinet and reveal a full desk surface when it is closed. Some premium models, like those from Resource Furniture and Expand Furniture, include dual monitor compatibility and cord management built right in. Now, these are major investments. Premium transforming setups like these can run anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000. But they allow one room to function as a full bedroom at night and a fully equipped office by day with no teardown required between transitions. The storage ottoman as office seating. A storage ottoman with a lift-top lid gives you a place to sit, a place to put your feet, and a concealed compartment for office supplies, documents, or electronic storage. Replace your office chair with one, and you gain storage you would never have otherwise. The L-shaped floating desk. If your zone allows for a corner placement, an L-shaped floating desk is one of the most efficient workspace setups you can install. It uses corner space that is often wasted, gives you substantial surface area on both arms. And because it is wall-mounted, it keeps the floor completely clear underneath for storage bins or open breathing room. Convertible shelving that doubles as a room divider. In an open-plan tiny home, a tall, open bookshelf positioned perpendicular to the wall can define the office zone from the rest of the living area while also providing storage on both sides. It creates a visual boundary without closing off the space. This is the strategy that separates a functional tiny home office from a stressful one. In a small space, visible clutter has a disproportionate psychological impact. Research consistently shows that cluttered workspaces reduce focus and increase cortisol levels. In a tiny house where your office is also your living room, that effect is amplified. Here is the system that works. Cable management tray under the desk. Install a simple cable tray or basket underneath your desk surface and route all your power cords, charging cables, and peripheral connections through it, completely out of sight. This single change makes any desk look twice as clean. Drawer dividers. A single desk drawer without organization becomes a junk drawer within 2 weeks. Drawer dividers separate pens, clips, sticky notes, and tools into dedicated sections. This eliminates the time wasted hunting for things and keeps the drawer actually usable. Designate a daily reset basket. One of the smartest habits tiny home office workers can build is a physical basket on the desk or shelf for items that need to be put away. At the end of every workday, you spend 2 minutes emptying the basket. This prevents the creeping clutter that accumulates when there is no clear home for random objects. Go paperless wherever possible. In 2026, most documents, receipts, contracts, and reference materials can be digitized and stored in the cloud. Every paper file you eliminate is one less thing competing for your limited physical storage. A small document scanner or a scanning app on your phone handles the transition. Label everything. In a small office with dense storage, labeling bins, shelves, and drawers is not optional. It is the difference between a system that maintains itself and one that devolves into chaos every 2 months. Here is something people get wrong about tiny home offices. They spend all their energy on fitting the furniture in, and then they forget to make sure the setup is actually comfortable to work in for 8 hours a day. Poor ergonomics in a small home office can cause real physical problems over time. Neck pain, back pain, wrist issues, eye strain. And in a tiny house where you are often sleeping 10 feet from where you work, an uncomfortable workspace affects your entire quality of life. The non-negotiables for tiny home office ergonomics. Monitor at eye level. If you're working on a laptop, use a laptop stand or a wall-mounted monitor arm to bring the screen to eye level. Looking down at a laptop screen for hours is a direct path to neck and shoulder problems. A wireless keyboard and mouse let you position the screen correctly without tethering your hands to the laptop. Chair height and lumbar support. Your chair needs to support your lower back. In a tiny home, this is often where people cut corners because they want a small, visually light chair. An adjustable height chair with lumbar support does not have to be bulky. There are excellent ergonomic chairs designed specifically for compact spaces. Lighting layering. Relying on a single overhead light in a tiny home office causes eye strain and creates an unflattering, flat environment for video calls. Layer your lighting with a task lamp on the desk for focused illumination, an LED strip under wall shelves for ambient fill and natural light positioning. If your desk faces a window, add a softbox or ring light in front of you to balance the backlight on calls. Acoustic treatment. In a tiny home, sound travels everywhere. If you're on video calls, recording content, or doing focused deep work, sound management matters. A bookshelf filled with books, a thick rug, fabric curtains, and a few acoustic panels or foam tiles on the wall behind your desk can dramatically reduce echo and outside noise intrusion. Temperature and air quality. Tiny homes can get stuffy, especially in a loft office space where warm air accumulates. A small desk fan, a compact air purifier, or a well-placed window vent keeps the air fresh and prevents the afternoon energy crash that comes from poor ventilation in a sealed small space. This is the strategy one promised you at the top, and it costs nothing. The number one complaint from remote workers in tiny homes is not that they lack space. It is that they cannot mentally leave work. When your office is 3 feet from your couch, and your couch is 3 feet from your bed, the boundaries between work life and personal life blur almost completely. This leads to overwork, burnout, and a feeling that you're always on. The solution is ritual-based separation. And here's what that means in practice. A physical transition signal. At the end of your workday, do something physical that signals to your brain that work is over. This could be as simple as putting your laptop in a drawer or case, folding up your fold-down desk, or draping a cloth over your monitor. The act of physically concealing the workspace tells your nervous system that work mode is done. Lighting changes. Use smart bulbs or a separate lamp that is only on during work hours. When it goes off, work is over. This is a powerful environmental cue that costs practically nothing to implement. A start and end routine. In a conventional office, your commute serves as a transition. In a tiny home with no commute, you need to create that transition yourself. A 10-minute walk before your workday starts and a 10-minute walk after it ends serves the same neurological function as a commute. It bookmarks your workday and prevents it from bleeding into your personal time. Zone rules. If your desk is in the living area, establish a personal rule that you do not sit at the desk outside of work hours. Similarly, avoid taking your laptop to your couch or bed during work hours. These spatial habits train your brain to associate specific areas with specific mental states, and over time, they become automatic. This strategy is free. It requires no furniture, no renovation, no special equipment. But it is the difference between a tiny home that feels like a productive workspace and one that feels like a place where work never stops. Before we close out, here are a few bonus ideas that did not fit neatly into the main 6, but are absolutely worth knowing. Use plants strategically. A few well-placed plants not only improve air quality and mental well-being, they also serve as visual dividers that define zones without taking up significant floor space. Tall plants like a snake plant or a fiddle leaf fig can mark the boundary of a workspace without blocking light or sight lines. Loft office spaces increase usable square footage. If your tiny home has high ceilings or an existing loft, a floating desk anchored to the loft wall can create an entirely separate elevated work zone. Leading small space designers note that utilizing a loft for a dedicated workstation can increase your effective usable floor space by up to 25% without changing your footprint. Wireless everything. Every cord you eliminate from your desk surface is visual clutter gone. Wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, wireless charging pads, Bluetooth speakers, cordless headset. In a small office, this is not a luxury. It is an organizational strategy. White or light colors expand the perception of space. If you have any control over the wall color near your workspace, lighter neutrals and whites reflect more light and make the zone feel larger and less cave-like. Pair that with a large mirror on an adjacent wall, and the effect is significant. A rolling kitchen cart as a secondary work surface. If you occasionally need extra desk space for spreading out materials, a rolling cart with a flat top surface can function as a mobile secondary desk when you need it and roll out of the way when you do not. Let me bring this home. Organizing a home office in a tiny house is not about having enough space. It is about being intentional with the space you have. The 6 strategies we covered today give you a complete framework. Number 1, audit your zone before you buy a single piece of furniture. Number 2, go vertical with storage and treat your walls like free real estate. Number 3, choose furniture that earns its place by doing 2 jobs at once. Number 4, take clutter and cable management seriously because in a small space it hits harder. Number 5, design for real ergonomics and long-term physical comfort, not just aesthetics. And number 6, create ritual-based work-life separation because walls are optional but boundaries are not. If you found this video useful, drop a comment below and tell me which strategy you're going to implement first. I read every single comment on this channel. And if you want to go deeper on tiny home design, I have a full playlist on making small spaces work harder right here on this channel. Links are in the description. I am your host at Affordable Tiny Homes. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.